If you're a kicker who cares about their kicking process, then you probably face the dilemma of which kicking boot is best for you. Through a little bit of research and watching TV, you probably stumbled across these two options, the Nike Tiempo and the adidas Predator Malice. But which boot is best for you? Hi guys, I'm OJ from Lovell Rugby, and I'm going to be helping you decide which kicking boot is best for you. Before we start, I do have a little bit of a confession to make. Ever since I've been younger, I've always been supporting checks over stripes purely on the basis that they fit my slightly narrower feet better. As for the fit and sizing, with the Nike boots, I've always gone true to size. However, with the Predators, I always go a half size and sometimes even a full size larger, just to have a bit more room in the toe box area. Beyond the fit of the boots, I also find the premium kangaroo leather of the Nike Tiempo to be more flexible than the synthetic option of the adidas Predator Malice. Because of this, straight out of the box, the fit and feel of the boots is straight away comfortable. However, with the leather, over the course of time, it will begin to stretch and mold around your foot just to increase that level of comfort. That's not to say that synthetic boots are uncomfortable. However, if comfort is at the top of your priority list, then I definitely stick with the Tiempo. This is why you see a lot of professional players wearing the Nike Tiempo and leather alternatives in pre-season when running load is increased and that volume and comfort is at the top of your priority. So although I've always been supporting checks over stripes, I'll be trying to maintain the complete unbiased nature throughout this review. But for me, right from the off, if comfort is important for you, that's 1-0 to the Tiempo. So that's the first major difference between these two boots, is the material used for the upper. The second main difference is the lacing systems on the boots. The Tiempo, as you can see, uses a straight lace system, whereas the Predator uses an asymmetric lace system. Personally for me, I prefer straight lace boots. This is because I prefer to kick the ball with the top of my foot rather than the instep of my foot. So for me, the straight laces provide the best surface to do that. However, if you're a kicker who prefers to kick with the instep of their foot, then the Predator is actually designed for you. The larger kicking surface that the asymmetric laces provide for you give you that more room to work with when striking the ball. Along with the larger kicking surface, there are also rubber grip elements on the surface of the boot that help you control the ball in all weather conditions. Nike do also have a similar pimple design on the surface, but the dimples aren't as pronounced, or in my opinion, do as much. And if anything, if you're buying the Tiempo, you're not buying it for that simple dimple on top. You're using this so you can hit the ball with the laces and really get through it. So as for the winner of which boot is best to kick with, it really is down to preference. If you prefer kicking with your instep, then the Adidas boot is really designed for you. That larger kicking surface and the rubber gripping elements really help you kick the ball and control it a lot better. However, the Tiempo with the straight lace design is a different kind of kicking. If you prefer to kick with the top of your foot, then this is again designed for you, and it's my preference over the Predator Malice. But again, leave your comment down below as to which one you prefer. So in terms of which boot is best to kick with, this category is really down to you and your preference for your kicking style. If you prefer to kick with the instep of your foot, then the Adidas Predator Malice is designed for you specifically, with that larger gripping surface with the asymmetric laces. However, if you prefer the soft, plush leather feel when you're kicking the ball and prefer a straight-laced option, then the Tiempo is better for you. So make sure you leave a comment down below which kicking style you prefer. Do you like to kick with the instep of your foot, or do you like to kick with the top of your foot getting through the ball? Although these boots are specifically designed for precision kicking, you still want to move around the park in them quite comfortably. They won't make you the fastest player in the world, however they will help you optimize your performance compared to the takedown models. Even if you do compare your kicking game to Andy Good, these will help you move around the park more comfortably. As for the traction on the boots, they both come in a firm ground and soft ground variation. The Adidas studs are changeable for other Adidas studs. You can't go and use other stud threads, they just won't fit in the boots. As for the soft ground on the Nike boots, these are now fixed into the sole plate, so you can't change them. As for the firm ground variation, both these boots being preferred by inside backs have more conical shaped studs. These make turning in tight spaces a lot easier compared to chevron shaped studs, which are more for aggressive acceleration and deceleration. So if you're a player who prefers their footwork and attacking the line, these boots really help you out with that because they help you turn more easily rather than getting stuck in the ground too much. As for the sole plates themselves, the Adidas Predator has a stiffer sole plate which helps acceleration a little bit more than the Tiempo. The Tiempo sole plate is a little bit more flexible, which again helps that turning, but doesn't help you at all with your acceleration. This is a really small difference in my opinion, and you can't really notice it comparing the two boots, but if acceleration is something you really want to maximize, I'd probably go with the Predator. As for locking your foot into the boot, the Nike Tiempo has a synthetic one-piece liner that really wraps your foot and secures it into the boot. This, along with the heel counter, really leaves your foot feeling locked in and secured into the boot. As for the Predator, however, this just has a traditional leather tongue. This leaves my foot feeling slightly less locked in than the Tiempo. However, they do have an additional lace hole if you do prefer to feel your foot being more strapped in and ready for the ride. However, when it comes to comfort in the lockdown, again, you've got to go with the Tiempo here. It just wraps your foot much nicer, whereas this tongue sliding around all over the place is just a bit more of an irritant. The added bonus that you're getting with the Adidas Predator Malice though is the raised heel inside of the boot. This puts your foot in a more dynamic sprinting position, similarly to a track sprinter. The Tiempo is more of a classic boot in that sense. It's a flat sole plate and it prioritizes comfort. Again, it's down to your preference. If you're looking to properly optimize and maximize the performance of your running game, the Predator really helps you out in that sense in terms of technical features. However, if comfort's what you're after, you want to kick the ball nicely and smoothly, stick with the Tiempo. As for the weight of the boots, the Adidas Predator is a traditional rugby boot with its metal studs. It's going to come in a little bit heavier. The Tiempo, however, is the lightest Tiempo they've ever created, weighing in at 219 grams. However, this does come with its drawbacks. Although a leather boot providing a slightly more protected feel than other synthetic football boot options, it's still pretty thin to allow for that lighter weight. The Predator, being a synthetic option and a slightly thicker option, is slightly heavier and does protect your foot a little bit more. That being said, if you get trodden on in a game with a metal stud, it's going to hurt either way. It doesn't really matter which option you go for here, so I wouldn't put that at the top of the priorities in terms of selecting each of these boots. As for the durability of each of these boots, this is a leather boot. Just because it's a football boot doesn't mean it's going to break and tear apart when you're playing rugby, but the leather will require a little bit more care. The synthetic option of the Predator Malice is easy to maintain compared to the leather, but again, there's little difference between these boots, both being elite style boots. They're going to last you. Finally then, we have the price. Both of these boots are the elite option, and you're getting a lot of value for money for either of them. The Nike Tiempo comes in at £215, whereas the Predator comes in at a square 200. However, like I said, you're getting high value for money with both of these options, and that price disparity doesn't make much of a difference in the long run. So guys, that was my comparison of the Adidas Predator Malice and the Nike Tiempo. Hopefully I've helped take you through the tech features so you can decide which one is best for you. So please leave a comment down below as to which boot you prefer, and you can pick these both up at Lovell Rugby.